In 1902, BOMA started right here in Chicago and initially only dealt with labor relations. But since then, it's grown and is the oldest and largest BOMA chapter in the world. And it's grown around the world and across the country too. We've expanded the mission from those early days to deal with advocacy, education, and of course networking. I'm George Cole with Sterling Bay, and I'm the 2014 president of BOMA Chicago. I'm here with Bob Quast from Lincoln Property Company, who is our treasurer, TJ Brookover from AmTrust Realty Corporation, who is the regional manager there and serves as our vice president. And of course, last but not least, Michael Cornicelli, BOMA Chicago's executive vice president. I think we'll start a little roundtable today. Bob, I'm going to throw it your way. Maybe you could tell us a little, to begin with, about some of our membership statistics.
Yeah, you know, we have a very powerful association, 255 building members. We have 159 affiliate members. Our association encompasses 94% of all of the leasable area in the central business district. We have all 100% of the Class A properties, so we're a very strong group.
That's great. How about our finances?
Well, I'm happy to report that, again, our financial position is in excellent condition. 60% of our revenues are from membership dues, and 60% of our expenses are dedicated to advocacy, education, BOMA International, and labor. So dollar for dollar, all of the dues that comes in really results in direct benefits to the properties and to our membership. All in all, we're in excellent condition.
Advocacy is probably one of the things that's most valuable to our members. Some of the things that we worked on included educating our members on Illinois' new concealed carry law. We engaged in some high-level dialogue with the mayor's office on pension reform proposals. I think our committees and our board took some bold and brave steps, I think, in coming out in favor of the mayor's proposal, notwithstanding the likelihood of a property tax increase to support that. But we did it because we thought it was the right thing to do for the city and for our assets. We're working with the commissioner and senior staff of the mayor's office for people with disabilities on some changes to the accessibility code, which I think will make our buildings more welcoming places for everybody who comes to visit or work there, and also does that in the context of reality and affordability for existing buildings and for our members. We did a lot of research and some advocacy this year on a proposal by the Department of Transportation in Chicago for a bus rapid transit system through the Central Loop. I think three big highlights, though, of the year were really our work in energy and sustainability. We negotiated a new labor agreement this year with our building engineers, and then we did some extensive work on a proposal to expand the State Street Special Service Area. You know, earlier this year we had another organization in town that proposed a 15-year extension of that SSA, as well as an expansion of its boundaries that would have pulled in additional buildings. The expansion proposal really called for extending those services to additional buildings that really already provide the same services on their own. And it was our belief that those buildings do that better, faster, and less expensively than that SSA could do them. BOMA Chicago, in that dialogue, I think, was primarily concerned with identifying what our members wanted from that proposal. So we exerted a lot of effort to gather up their views, to communicate those views to the other parties that were involved in those discussions, and then we successfully opposed that proposal and the tax burden that it would have meant to the impacted buildings there.
To be able to leverage BOMA and BOMA's membership was very helpful in allowing us to discuss and have an open forum with the SSA. As an individual building, we would not have had the same amount of leverage.
In every step along the way, the BOMA team prepared us for every conversation, every meeting, every presentation, so we knew the specific talking points before we ever walked into the meeting.
The estimated tax savings on the SSA issue is $770,000 in the first year. If we're successful in defeating the SSA, it would be a 15-year term, which would be approximately $12 million. So it's impacted our building tremendously, which was really a direct result of BOMA's help and assistance.
Energy is so important, as you know, George, because it represents one of the single largest line items in any property's operating budget. We've been involved in local ordinances proposed by the city And a prime example of that is the benchmarking ordinance. The city approached BOMA, recognizing it as a thought leader in this energy field, to get their input on the benchmarking ordinance. And looking out for the best interest of the buildings, we put forth very thoughtful benchmarking points. There was a divergent view on mandatory disclosure. However, the important thing here is that BOMA Chicago was recognized as a thought leader. We were at the table early. We were heard by the city, and we had input on how an ordinance would be crafted. And that's the important thing to take away. Smart grid technology really has three benefits for building members. One, it will enable buildings to manage their properties more efficiently. Two, it will allow buildings to understand how they consume energy, or maybe reshape those profiles and demand loads. And then lastly, enable buildings to participate in demand response programs and capture revenues maybe that they're not capturing today. This will be a differentiator between one building and another in the future. The buildings that have been on the program have seen real results and real benefits.
Initiatives like the Smart Meter program are a mindset, and BOMA certainly has the mindset to put it to the forefront, to put it on our minds, so we can go to our owner and say, we have this initiative, it's easy, we can roll it out, and it benefits you, the client, it benefits our occupants, and it benefits us as a management team. One day they came in, they logged into the system, and they saw a huge spike in our heating load. So they went and made adjustments, and within minutes, the kilowatt usage went down by like 300 kilowatt hours. And they identified an issue that they might not have caught had we not been live.
BOMA Chicago is the only association internationally that actually negotiates collective bargaining agreements on behalf of their members. Down through the years, we've had an outstanding relationship with the Service Employees International Union and with the International Operating Engineers Union, Local 399. Our members benefit from a grievance process, which every month various members of our labor committee meet with union members to resolve any issues and disputes that come up. We just renegotiated agreement with the operating engineers. You know, the benefits our members derive from the labor negotiations and the commitment of a lot of their peers in our industry sitting down and working those out it's a tremendous benefit to our members.
BOMA Chicago's role as a collective bargaining agent has helped Columbia College Chicago in our relationship with the unions, because it levels the playing field and the contracts are very clear as to what the terms are. Columbia College Chicago would be forced to negotiate our own contracts if BOMA didn't offer that service, and it would cost us a lot of time and money and other resources. And since we're one building owner, BOMA kind of gives everybody the power of the big group to be in a better negotiating position.
An important part of what we prioritize here at BOMA Chicago is professional development and education. And the interesting thing is we have programs for emerging leaders and seasoned professionals, the whole gamut of things we offer. Another thing that's very popular around education and professional development are our brown bag luncheons. And again, they cover a multitude of topics from concealed carry to emergency preparedness to fire protection. And these are quite popular, and we seem to always have record attendance at those. And last but certainly not least, we have a full designation scholarship, and then also the Reginald Ollie Inclusion and Outreach Scholarship, which is offered annually, sometimes to 2 people at our diversity events. So there are a lot of ways we're touching education, touching professional development, and I feel it's a very tangible way that we're improving our membership and really making a difference here in Chicago.
By taking the RPA classes, I've been able to understand my team roles better, my position, and what my property manager expects from me, and just all the different roles between engineering, property management, project management, all the different teams within my building, vendors, that just makes our whole team stronger and increases the value of the building and makes our owner happy.
Participation and attendance at our events has really continued to grow with events like our annual golf outing, which this year proved that even a rain check couldn't keep our members away from a terrific business development opportunity and some good fun. Our Toby Gold Circle Awards Gala last year hit record attendance. Program luncheons like our June event that featured Cook County Board President Tony Preckwinkle. You know, we try and keep our buildings exposed and engaged with thought leaders in government and in the private sector. And then, of course, our annual meeting, where you get the chance to address our members directly, and they get to hear firsthand from our leadership as to what all is going on. None of these events would be possible without the tremendous support of our building members and the generous sponsorship of our affiliate members. Whether their contributions take the form of participation in the committees that plan and execute those events, or in the form of their sponsorship dollars, we're very grateful for all of that. Events like these simply don't happen without that kind of engagement and support.
Being a member of BOMA has helped grow our business an awful lot by interacting with all of our clients. Nobody should join BOMA Chicago as an affiliate member thinking that they are just going to get business just from that. They have to participate, and the more you participate with BOMA Chicago, the more trusted you are, the more opportunities you have.
I think about the larger context we function within. Obviously, our focus is on commercial real estate, on buildings and those that own them. But we're aware also that we're in a much larger community context. There's a few things we've been involved in around that. The Greater Chicago Food Depository Food Drive, which is ramping up now. Last year had tremendous participation, over 135 buildings. We collected about 68,000 pounds of food, and that resulted in over 215,000 meals served. And also around blood drives, between the Red Cross and Life Source are involved in many buildings collecting blood, and this positively impacted over 8,000 lives. So often a shortage of blood, and this is a way to replenish the amount that's available, and that's a lot of people we touch. So those are some tangible things we're doing beyond just caring about buildings and the real estate, and that's something we can all feel good about. You want to think about it, none of this is possible without our members, our volunteers, and our staff, and they're giving time, expertise, financial support. So for all that, we're grateful and thrilled to serve, and are looking forward to 2015 beyond, and we want to thank you for your active involvement and participation in BOMA Chicago. And gentlemen, thank you for the session today.